I tell you no, then she grabbed my hands and kissed my face. She said, I won't let you go. I never seen a look like that. There was fire in her eyes. I cried out, please help me, God. Oh no, will I make it out alive? That crazy girl, sweet
From sea to
loves
shining sea throughout the solar system and extending to interstellar regions beyond. This is the Kevin Smith Show.
You don't know why.
Comments and views expressed on The Kevin Smith Show are those of the people that make them and do not necessarily reflect the views of Kevin Smith, The Kevin Smith Show, or its affiliates or sponsors.
Hi, folks, and welcome to the show, whoever you are, wherever you happen to be, all around this gorgeous planet we call Earth. Thank you for being here at the Kevin Smith Show. I'm delighted to be here, and I'm delighted you're here. I'm here because you have a right to know, and because you matter. Now, tonight, we are actually going to be BYOT. Now, I've got something really interesting and really important to share with you right at the beginning of our BYOT night. For those of you who are new to the show, you don't know what BYOT is, do you? BYOT means bring your own topic. So as long as your topic is within the world of the strange and unexplained, any topic will work. And it's kind of like, remember the old jukeboxes? Some of you remember those. You put your money in and then you push some buttons to select songs, and it would play the songs you selected, right? Well, this is kind of like talk show jukebox. If you don't like the topic we're talking about, or even if you do, but you like some other topic, you're interested in some other topic more, then it's kind of like talk show jukebox. You will dial some numbers, and when we answer, you tell us the topic, and we'll talk about it. So it will be BYOT. But first, I am going to share something with you that just came out. Very interesting stuff. And I'm going to share it with you, not because this is like, galactic, earth-shattering news. Certainly not for our audience, it won't be. But because it's brand new. Now, there will be people talking about this, maybe, in some of the UFO forums and so forth, around the internet. I want to be sure that we provide something worth them talking about, because I'm almost certain that most folks will miss what we will discover here. Almost everybody will miss this just from looking at the picture. So it is important from that point of view. And I'm pretty sure I will see the very work that I've done on this photograph show up in forums elsewhere without any credit to the Kevin Smith Show. It happens all the time. I see our work in forums and on other sites, and with people just using it as if, we don't exist. Well, that's okay, but just remember this. They wouldn't have it unless we did it. So we're going to do this one, and I think you're going to find it very, very interesting. If you're new to the show, then you also don't know that we have a free newsletter. It is bi-weekly. It comes out every 2 weeks now, and but it's absolutely free. It's called the K-Files. We would love for you to be getting it. There's always good articles and links to videos and links to information in each edition, so you want to be sure that you get it, okay? If you don't get it, then you just don't get it. We'll be back right after this break.
All of the music used here at the Kevin Smith Show is from independent artists. Most of it from independent artists at musicalley.com. Go over to musicalley.com. Check out thousands of artists and thousands of great independent tunes. musicalley.com.
I was dreaming in my bed last night about how sweet life has been. Well, since I left that crazy girl, see her love had made me ill. Boy, I woke up, I heard a sound. It was not so far away. Well, I opened my eyes, that crazy girl, she was staring me in the face. Yeah, she said, love me, love me, love me. I'm so lonely, lonely, lonely. She said, love me, love me, love me. I'm so lonely, lonely, lonely. I dashed out, you've got to leave. Just how many ways must I tell you no? Then she grabbed my hands and kissed my face. She said, I won't let you go. I never seen a look like that. There was fire in her eyes. I cried out, please help me, God. Oh no, will I make it out alive? That crazy girl screamed, love me, love me, love me. I'm so lonely, lonely, lonely. She said, love me, love me, love me. I'm so lonely, lonely, lonely. That crazy girl screamed, love me, love me, love me. I'm so lonely, lonely, lonely. That crazy girl screamed, love me, love me, love me. I'm so lonely, lonely, lonely. That crazy girl screamed, love me, love me, love me. I'm so lonely, lonely, lonely. That crazy girl screamed, love me, love me, love me, love me. I'm so
Welcome back to the Kevin Smith Show. This will be BYOT night, but important stuff first. Important information first. Not that the topics we will discuss during the BYOT are not important. They are. But this one is brand new. And so I want to be sure. Some of you are probably aware of it. I'm pretty sure you're not fully aware. But you will be. You will be. In just a little bit, you will be fully aware. The European Space Agency released today, well, let me put it this way. The news agencies began reporting today that the European Space Agency they're confirming that they have found a river on Mars. Dry, of course. And it actually, I think, is dry. I don't see any water in it. But it's an impressive river. It, in some places, is 1,000 feet deep. And there are many tributaries. It goes for hundreds of miles. Many tributaries. Big, big, big river. And very wide. It is the picture that you see if you go to my website, kevinsmithshow.com. Scroll down till you see the picture about tonight's show. And in that is the picture, and in that picture is everything we're going to discuss. Weird stuff all over this picture. All right, so I really would like for you to take a look, if you're watching, I want you to take a look at the picture itself. And, well, it looks like we need to reposition that just a little bit, so let me do that for you. I want you to take a look at the picture and let your eyes just sort of roam around and see if you really see anything that's really strange. Now, for those who are watching, you can see the pointer on the picture. When I first looked at this picture, what we're looking at, if you're not watching, we're looking at the picture that's on my website, and you can see the river. Well, I thought at first that the dark mark down this picture is the river. It's not. That is the shoreline, the bank of the river. The river is the sandy-colored, wide area that looks like it has scrape marks in it. That's the river. So the dark line that you see, that dark line is we'll say the left bank or north bank of the river. Over here is, on the other side, is the other bank. So in this picture, do you see anything that you think really looks anomalous? Well, the one thing that I saw was there looks like that at one point there's a place where it looks like there's been a cave-in or something along the bank, and it's just caved in down to the river. So just on a lark, I took a look at that, and we're going to do that, all right? We are going to take a look at that in just a moment. But I want to assure you that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning of the weirdness in this picture. Let's see. Let's just go to this. All right. So let me see if I can... No, that's not where I wanted to go. Okay, tell you what I'm going to do. Let me just back up, and I will do this. You see this white? There's a white line along the south shore or along the right bank of the river. Well, I thought that was just snow. But when I zoomed in to take a look at the thing that I thought was a cave-in, as I was zooming in, I noticed something about that white line. It's a spiral. It is a spiral. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? That is not laying on the ground. part of that spiral is up in the air. It's like for those who are listening, you know those curly Q spiral spaghettis, pastas? That's what this thing looks like. It's white. I thought it was snow, but as we can see, it's a vortex of something. That is really bizarre. And that was an accidental discovery there. I was not zooming in to look at that. I was zooming in to look at that place that I said looks like it was caved in. And so I have really no idea what to say about this white spiral. Maybe you do. When I open the phone lines, if you have some idea about what that is, I would like to hear it. I have absolutely no idea what that is. But I want to take a look at this area that I said looks like a cave-in. Now, we're going to look at it rather in depth. And what I can see by looking at this is that before I clarify the picture, before I do anything to it, I can see that the right wall of that cave-in does not appear to be accidental. That appears to be constructed or cut. And the left side appears to be a raised area as well. In other words, it has the appearance of being something purposeful. It has the appearance of not being accidental. And then I saw a very curious area back here, but we'll at the back of that cave-in. Now remember, we're looking at a river, and we're looking at something that has the appearance of having been constructed out into the river. And for those who are listening, it looks like a ramp, sort of, coming down into the river. All right, so let us see what we can see in these pictures here. All right, let's take a look. I've zoomed in now, and you should be able to see that there is very blurry construction back there. Now, maybe that's blurry because it's covered with sand, it's ancient, and it's in ruins. And maybe not. Maybe that's blurry because somebody made it blurry. But there are things to see here, and so we're going to see them. All right, I'm going to take the color out of the picture. I'm just going to strip the color out, because sometimes when you do that, if they have obscured things with color, then they become more clear, and it does. Now, actually, we can see that this thing is constructed. And there's several other points of construction here. You don't see the construction? Well, let me see if I can point it out to you. And again, I don't know why, but when I go to the shots where I can use the pointer, they seem to jump around and not be in frame, so let's fix that. If you look right in the middle of this ramp, or this, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what I think it looks like. It looks like a sluice from a mining operation, but a big one, a gigantic one. But if you look right in the middle of it, you can see there's a horseshoe shape that goes from side to side. I mean, it's a horseshoe, and then it sort of has an extension to the left with a bulbous end on it. I don't know what the purpose of that would be, but I've outlined it, and I've circled some other very curious areas in this picture. And these also are not the end of the thing. There's more, really more. All right, so back here at the end of the sluice, away from the river, it looks like a building. It's got a wing going to the left, I guess to its right, our left, but it's a multi-storied building, if indeed it is a building. It looks as though it's been obscured, but we can see it somewhat clearly, better, not clearly, but better, by taking the color out as we have. Now, in these yellow circles, I've circled things that look like construction to me. And so we have a yellow circle up in kind of up and to the right, northeast of the end of the sluice. And that's very curious because those holes are all even spaced and symmetrical. Notice that you've got a hole here and one here and one here. They're in line. Again, and we assume there's a third one here behind this construction. But they're all it's symmetrical and even. And then you've got what looks like the entrance that you would see on an igloo going into a circular area. And then you have an entrance perhaps into access underground. Now, why do I say that? Because in the green circles, have you ever been to Albania? And we may have some audience with us who are in Albania, and they will know exactly what I'm about to say. Have you ever been to Albania? Albania is a very beautiful country. It's a dangerous place to go because there's so much crime. But it's a beautiful country, absolutely beautiful. Well, it used to be ruled by a guy named Enver Hoxha. And when I lived there, I lived in Tirana, Albania, and I lived about 3 blocks from Enver Hoxha's palace. He was already dead, but his palace was still there. When he was in charge of Albania, he put these pillboxes, they're domed, all over Albania, all over the place. I mean, everywhere you go, there are these little pillboxes. And that's what the people call them. It's domed, and it's a dome cover over a little area it's sunk into the ground. And there's a little peephole for them to put a rifle out and shoot. And so almost everybody all over the country was assigned a pillbox. If they were ever invaded, they were supposed to go to their pillbox and defend the country. Well, what's in those green circles looks very similar to what you see in Albania in those pillboxes. Or you see pillboxes all over the place. And it looks real similar to that. So I don't know what it is. It's all very strange. It looks like construction. However, here's the deal. You're looking at this and you're saying, well, I don't know. I'm not real sure about this. Okay, if that's a sluice from a mining operation, and if all this other construction that things I say look like construction, if that is construction out there, and this is a sluice from a mining operation dumping stuff into the river, we ought to be able to find some evidence of mining, don't you think? Well, there is such evidence in the picture. And I'm not sure. You be the judge. I think it's been tampered with. All right, so if you look at the sluice, the caved-in area that I say doesn't, when you really look at it, it looks like it was built. All right, when you look at that, look to the left in the picture. Just look straight across to the left, and you see an area that in the picture is darker red, So let's go look over there. That looks to me like that has been Photoshop obscured. Now, I cannot say for sure that that's the case, but I can say for sure that we can see it looks like there is like a red fog over the thing, but through that we can see this straight white line going right straight through the thing. Do you see that? So I decided to do something. I decided that what I would do is strip that that red fog out of there and just take a look. Because, see, it kind of looks like right up on the top of that darker red area, sort of to the left, but right up on the top, slightly to the left of the center of your picture. It looks like there might be some kind of building there. So I stripped the red out. And when I first saw this, the very first thing I thought was, it looks like a big jet airplane. I mean, there's the nose of the airplane and the cockpit, and there are the wings, and that's the fuselage, and there's the tail. However, I want you to remember the size that this thing would be, all right? Just take a look at its relative size in the picture. This would be ginormous. So, yeah, maybe it still could be a big jet. It'd be a huge jet. But I took a little closer look. And I did some things with this photograph. By the way, you can see there is a building up there. And if you look carefully, you can see there are things back in this dark area. And there's stuff right here, right in the dead center of your picture. So I did some things with this picture. I brightened it up to see if I could see any better. And I can, and you can too. What we're looking at is right on top of, or right at the edge of, a dugout area. There is a building. And that building extends to further building and or machinery underneath. There is a very long shaft, or perhaps that is a big pipe. And that's only the beginning of what's there. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will continue with stuff that's in this picture. That's not a crater either. And welcome back to the Kevin Smith Show. Talking about this picture released by the ESA, just began to be published today. To the best of my knowledge, it hasn't been published previously. And by the way, the picture that I have up is straight from the ESA website. It's not from one of the articles that was written about this. It's straight from the ESA website, and the link is on the screen. So we were taking a look at the weirdness in this spot. Okay, so let me, for those who are watching, let me put the bigger version of that picture up so that you can copy that link down. Go take a look at it. It's for real. All right. So the spot we're looking at is the dark red spot, dark red area. It is not a crater. It has the appearance of having been excavated out of there, and we're looking behind what looks to me like purposeful obscuration of the picture. And what we see behind that is that dark red spot has some stuff in it. That dark red spot is a pit. It's been excavated, and it's got stuff in it. And what we're looking at right now, the first one we looked at is just when I stripped out the color, and then I brightened it up a little bit to take a look and see what else I could see. And if you look very carefully, you see there is this shaft or pipe that runs the entire width of the thing. And we can see there is some kind of construction right up on the top of the ridge with some kind of construction in here. We'll take a look at that again, take a look at that in just a bit. But take a look at the area right in the center of your screen, because that's some big machinery, big parts of machinery there. At least that it has that appearance. All right, so let's move forward. Now, if I add just a little bit of color to this, and I made it blue because a blue filter is a little bit sharper for our eyes, now we can see that stuff that I said looks like some big machinery sitting right in the center of the picture really does look like that. It takes on that appearance quite clearly. And let's see if we can zoom in on that. I don't know what that is, but that looks like construction. All right. And you can see the building that I said is right up at the top of the ridge. You can see that pretty clearly here. All right, but what is it that's back there in the darkness? Well, let's see if we can tell. I really brightened it up. And so let's see if we can see what is back there in the darkness. We can see the building up top. We can see that there's either two highly reflective, well, three, 1, 2, and 3, highly reflective metal or some other type of highly reflective material areas, but they are roughly the same size and rectangular. They look like windows, perhaps. We can also see that there is a curved area that looks like maybe a big pipe that comes from there and goes down toward this area with big machinery. And then there are the pawns. I don't know what they are, but they look like chess pawns. One here, one here. They look like, the pawn piece in a chess game. And then we get down to that machinery that's right in the center of the picture, and it takes on even more of a look of machinery. So, I don't know what it is, folks, but those who are watching, the shaft runs right through the center of the picture, and right here, just above it, there's some more stuff that looks like Actually, it looks like batteries, you know, flashlight batteries, but they're gigantic, sitting back there. I don't know what this is. However, I started out by asking the question, if this thing is a sluice, and we can see quite clearly in the picture that the ESA provided, we can see quite clearly that thing looks constructed. It doesn't look like an accident. If that's a sluice dumping stuff in the river, then there must be some type of operation nearby that is providing the stuff that's being dumped into the river, or that was being dumped into the river, right? If that is constructed, and if it is a sluice, there has to be a reason for it. And if there is a reason for it, then that reason should be nearby. And I think it is. I think it is some type of processing or mining operation that is taking place right in that excavated area nearby the sluice. Now, let the controversies begin. Well, I don't see nothing but sand. Okay. Well, then, it must be sand. You don't see anything but Chinese wedding candles. It must be wedding candles, right? I think that's an industrial operation back there, and I think we're looking at the ruins of a high-tech, very high-tech industrial operation that was dumping something right into that river that the ESA has now confirmed is a river, and it is a river system without water now. But it is a river, and it's a massive river system with thousands of tributaries. It's hundreds of miles long. At places, it's 1,000 feet deep. And then there is also a great mystery. I want to go back to the picture that I was showing you that was sort of blue. I want to go back to that because I want to show you that if you get up close to your screen, you can see there is some type of machinery, right above that shaft, and there is steam or something, smoke, steam, coming right out of the top of that thing. So is this still functioning? Maybe parts of it are still running. It might be occupied. It looks pretty much in ruins, but then again, I'm having to deal with a picture that apparently has been obscured. But we can see some machinery, a big building of some type right above that pipeline. And just above that building, right out of the top of it, there's a big cloud of steam coming out of it. That's pretty astounding, don't you think? Could be a Chinese wedding candle, though. I mean, who knows, right? All right, it's BYOT. We can talk about this picture, or we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. We got a lot of stuff happening out there in the world of the strange and unexplained, and the telephone lines are open. 623-444-5889, 623-444-5889. One person that I talked to today about these pictures, and actually it's the person that alerted me to the original picture, and then after I started zooming in and doing some things with the picture to see what's in it, I shared those back with him. He said maybe it's some sort of geothermal plant. Well, it might be. I don't know. I do know that I'm looking at steam coming out of the top of some machinery or out of the top of a building. All right, caller, you're live on the Kevin Smith Show. Your first name and from where are you calling?
Kevin, this is Ryan. Ryan in Puget Sound.
Hello, Ryan.
There's been quite a few. I had a question for the audience. If there's people in the audience that live in Texas or people in the audience that live in Michigan or Indiana, and they've seen a UFO in the past couple weeks, I'd like to see if they can call in and tell us, because there's been quite a flap going on in Michigan and in Texas.
You're right. And in another state, too, I got a call today about one happening in Nebraska. Have you heard about that one?
I haven't heard about that one.
Yeah.
But I know that there's quite a rash of sightings going on in Texas, including beings, entities being seen, multiple triangles. One picture was from an oil field that a MUFON investigator, seasoned MUFON investigator, says it has passed 2 authenticity tests so far.
And it's a picture of what?
And there's another picture of that came out. A lot of people saw UFOs around this oil field, and then in Michigan. I just want to see if there's anybody out there that has seen anything. I'd like to hear them call in.
All right, so now this picture that you said has passed 2 tests of authenticity is it's a picture of what?
It's a large flat. You've probably seen it. It's from the side angle, and it's got like 3 lights on it. It's out in sort of the desert area of Texas. It's Clovis. Mm-hmm. I think it's Clovis. No, maybe that's the wrong. Maybe that's the wrong.
I think there is a Clovis, Texas. I think there is a Clovis, Texas. When we say Clovis, most people think of New Mexico, but I believe there is one in Texas too.
I can get it for you right now.
All right.
Well, at any rate, it's on your Facebook profile if anybody wants to go check it out.
All right.
Or at the UFO Chronicles, but so far they've put it to 2 tests and it's passed both of them, and we're waiting on more on that. But at any rate, there's been quite a few sightings in those 2 states. So if there's anybody in those 2 states, I know there's people that listen from there. If they see anything, let us know. I don't know. There's the mainstream media is not reporting it, so we come here to get the news. So
yeah, they're not going to report it.
No,
they're never going to do that.
They're concerned about some football player from Notre Dame that lied about his wife or something. That it's just ridiculous. Some of the stories they're talking about.
Yeah, well, that's important news now. That's we no longer have Britney to talk about. She kind of straightened up a little bit, so we got to have something.
And then they're talking about Lance Armstrong. That's headline news to them. So
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll let somebody else call in. Kevin, I just wanted to put the word out to keep your eyes to the skies if you're in those 2 states.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right. Thanks, Ryan. What about you? 623-444-5889 is the telephone number. 623-444-5889. It's BYOT. That means whoever you are. If you've got some topic within the world of the strange and unexplained, we'd love to hear from you. All right? 623-444-5889. Caller, you're live on the Kevin Smith Show. Your first name and from where are you calling?
Kevin, this is Brent from Wyoming.
Hello, Brent.
Looking at that mining area, I'm going to give you a comparison.
Okay.
About 70 miles east of where I am is the world's largest open pit mine.
Okay, hang on, because we have a break taking over. Just hang on. I'll get to you right after the break. All right, folks, we'll be back right after this. All right, welcome back to the Kevin Smith Show. It's BYOT tonight. Bring your own topic. And Brent from Wyoming is on the line. So, Brent, we had to cut you off. You were about to tell us a strip mine operation.
Yeah, it's an open pit mine over in Gillette.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the trucks they use in that thing are so big, they have to assemble them on site. And by big, I mean the tires are between 20 and 60 feet tall.
That's pretty big.
So I would say that there's a very real possibility that is a strip mine.
Well, it might be. It very well might be. I don't know that it's a mine. But it is some type of industrial operation. Now, I know you watch the show, so I'm going to put this picture back up. And when I zoomed in on this picture, well, let's see. There we go. All right. And I pointed out that there is an area where you can see a building and steam coming up out of it. Do you see the steam?
Yeah.
What do you suspect that is?
I don't know. The only thing I can say is if I wish I had clearer photos of it.
Yeah,
or video.
Yeah, we all wish we had clearer photos, but we don't. But what we have does show a building with smoke or steam coming right up, a big cloud of it streaming out of the top of it.
Yeah, now, if you look up that structure up on the ridge, my first impression of that was castle walls.
Yeah, I don't know.
Coming down the side and the castle in the center of it, so I don't know.
That wouldn't be very big for a castle.
No, it wouldn't be, but it could be a mining facility thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, this is what's puzzling to me. I mean, the whole thing's puzzling to me. But the thing that's most puzzling to me about all of this is that the general appearance of all of this appears to me to be in a rather destroyed condition. You know, old, ancient, ruined condition. The general appearance of the site. The sluice and all that, it looks like, you know, you can sort of tell what it used to be, but it looks like it used to be. It doesn't look like something that's in use now. And then we get over to that pit, and it looks like it's occupied. I mean, you got steam coming up. You know, it does not have the general appearance of destruction that the whole ambiance of the picture has. So maybe the sluice is ancient and destroyed, and that this pit is of more recent construction. That's a possibility. In other words, somebody else is there now. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at it from a slightly different perspective. I'm just saying, what would our open pit mines look like if they were suddenly abandoned and somebody found them 100 years, 200 years later?
Yeah, but 200 years later, you wouldn't have steam coming up out of the machinery.
True.
That's the problem.
Unless machine was automated.
Well, yeah, and it would have to have a power source, and it would have to have a water source, which is not apparent in the picture. So, you know, I don't know. It would have to have its own internal power source of some kind that would keep running for 200, 300 years or thousands of years.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Unless, like you say, somebody came in and took it over.
Yeah. All right, I have another question for you.
All right.
That area that looks like a white line of ice, but it's a spiral of stuff, I'm going to put that back up. What in the world is that?
In my opinion, I have seen cloud formations like that.
You have? I've seen trails behind missiles like that.
Say what?
I have seen trails behind a missile that look like that.
Yeah. But it's just kind of a low-lying. It wasn't exactly like that. Well, what I saw was a low-lying cylindrical cloud just hanging above the town.
So you think that's a cloud?
I don't know what to call it, but that would be my first impression. A cloud of cloud formation of some sort.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't know what it is. It is very weird. Whatever it is, it's very weird. All right, so maybe we've got somebody that's a meteorology expert that could tell us what that is.
Yeah.
And maybe they could tell us that's a wambadoodle cloud and they happen only under certain conditions or something. You know, something like that. All right, man, thanks for the call.
Yep, goodbye.
Bye. All right, the telephone lines are open, and it's BYOT. Bring your own topic. We'll talk about whatever you wish to talk about. 623-444-5889. Caller, you're live on the Kevin Smith Show. Your first name and from where are you calling?
Kevin, the city is Cotulla, Texas, with the C. I had to call back and let you know. I didn't want to confuse people. Cotulla.
Okay. Cotulla, Texas. All right, man. Thanks for the call.
Bye.
623-444-5889. 623-444-5889. Also, if you are outside of the USA and you're outside of Canada, we do have for you an additional option. You may call us. It will work. But we know it can be a little expensive, you know, to make international long-distance calls. And so we have an additional option for you, and that additional option is the flash message. Go to my website, scroll down till you see this picture about tonight's show, and right above it you'll see a link that says flash message, but that's if you're outside the USA, outside of Canada. If you're inside the USA and inside of Canada, then you need to give us a call. And it's easy to do, 623-444-5889. All right, the European Space Agency, you know, I've bragged on them a lot because their pictures are generally much clearer than what we get from NASA. And you've heard me say they don't seem to do too much obscuration of their photos, but they apparently do some. And I think this photo has been obscured. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert in that, but I do deal with photos every day. This one looks like it has been obscured back there in that pit. So if you are an expert, maybe you can tell me if it has. Caller, you're live on the Kevin Smith Show. Your first name and from where are you calling?
Hello.
Hello. Your first name and from where are you calling?
This is Gwen in Texas.
Hi, Gwen.
And I haven't seen any UFOs, and I'm not a photo expert.
Okay.
But I just love this show tonight. I'm calling, first of all, with a question about the software that you use. What software do you use to manipulate the photos?
I use three. I have three that it depends on what results I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
I start off with one called RealDraw. RealDraw Pro, and I do that because it's so fast.
Uh-huh.
If the photograph is, if I'm having difficulty with that because that program is good but not super sophisticated, I move over to GIMP. And
what is it?
GIMP. GIMP is...
GIMP?
Mm-hmm.
Like GIMP.
Yep.
Okay, RealDraw, GIMP,
and then finally, if GIMP can't handle it, I go to Photoshop. I hate Photoshop.
Okay.
Absolutely hate Photoshop.
And the other thing I wanted to ask you, if you would please show the photo that you showed before the blue tinted one.
The one right before the blue tint?
I wanted to ask you about.
Okay, the one right before the blue, right? So it was still black and white?
Right, the one without the blue tint.
Okie
the
dokie.
close-up without the blue tint in the thing that's not a crater.
All right. It is on your screen.
Okay. Do you see that feature there? Go to your right just a little bit, please. Yes. Back over to the left there, where you were just a second ago. Between the white feature and just that dark area. No, to the left.
Right
to
there.
To the left. Yes, right there. Now, to me, that looks like 3 stories of rooms, like hollowed out areas.
It might be. Can you hang on through this break?
Sure, I sure
All
can.
right, you hang on. All right, we have to take a break, and we'll be back right after the break.
How can you say you love me? You out on them streets. I can't compete. No, 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 no. You don't have to love me no more. Don't love me no more. Love me no more, no more. You can't say you love me like that. You don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Now you're just plain lonely, boring, faded. My thoughts of you were cool, but I don't wanna be your dude. Baby, you got the right one, playing these kitty games on me. Comes around, goes around. Now who's got that frown? And mine is upside down. Oh yeah, I thought those nights were so fun. Or maybe days you got me. With the better one you should cheat. Your love must have been deep. You were never good for me. Like that, like that. You don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Girl, you were my first boring, faded. My thoughts of you were cool, but I don't wanna be your dude. You don't have to love me no more. Don't love me no more. Love me no more. Love me no more. Don't love me no more. Love me no more. No more. Oh yeah, baby, you're gonna regret everything you did to me. What's in the dark comes to light. Babe, that wasn't right to treat me like your fool. Oh, yeah. It's rare that you will find one you can depend on in your time of need. There for you when you fall, despite your lies and all. I thought you were the one for me. Like that, I said, love me, girl. Don't you know you just made love so much boring, faded. My thoughts of you were cool, but I don't wanna be your dude. You don't have to love me no more. No more. Don't love me no more. No more. Love me no more. You don't have to love me no more. Don't love me no more. Love me no more. No more. Second chances, broken promises every day, every day. No more second chances.
All right, welcome back to the Kevin Smith Show, and on the telephone with me is Gwen from Texas. It's BYOT night. That means bring your own topic. We will talk about whatever is on your mind, or you can talk about these pictures that we've been looking at. All right, Gwen, we were talking about this photograph, and a particular area of the photograph.
Yes.
And so what I want to do is zoom in and let you see what's up in that area.
Yes, to the left there, where it looks like there's sort of a squared off area, and it looks like an interior. Do you see what I'm looking at? And then right above it is another squared off area.
Yeah.
And above that, it looks like it might be a third story, but it's just black.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I really looked in this area because, frankly, this configuration that the pointer is pointing to looks like a human bent over and bent forward, and his rear is sticking out towards us. And the problem with that, if that's the case, his butt's attached to that wall. There's a pipe or something right there. And plus, if that were a human or a being of some kind, he would have to be about 500 feet tall there.
Well, I wasn't seeing it as a being. I was seeing it as a building. It looks to me like a wall was sheared off, or maybe it's an open wall, and it's a 3-story structure.
It might be. It very well might be.
The bottom floor there looks like you can see inside a little bit, and there does seem to be some sort of an interior on the bottom floor. The two top floors, the two floors above it look like, well, they're just black, so it's kind of hard to tell. But that's what it looks like to me. It looks like a building.
Yeah, because you can see back into that. You can.
Yeah, you can see on the first floor. Yes, right there. And I just wanted to point that out. I think you're on the right track. It looks to me like the site of some sort of industrial activity. When I saw the photo today, I was looking at, browsing the internet earlier today, and I saw the riverbed. And I saw that sluice that you were talking about, and I thought, that's weird.
It is, because
it just didn't go anywhere.
The sluice, I've got the wrong picture up now, but the sluice, what in the world? I mean, it's there, so, what's it for? And when I looked at the area around that sluice, I saw things that to me look constructed. Can you see at the far end of the sluice? It looks like it's either obscured or very, very eroded, but it looks like there was building back there.
Yes, I see that, and I see the complex above that with the rounded area and the holes that you were pointing out. It definitely looks like some sort of formerly inhabited area.
Yeah, and then when we get over to the pit, that's why I wonder, because it appears that it may be functioning. So, and the original that the ESA put out, that's not the original, but the one they put out, I'm going to switch back and forth so you can see. It looks like they have obscured what's in that pit. You can see through the red fog,
some of the coloring and whatnot, and show us what was underneath. You're probably right. I mean, I don't have any experience in doing that. I hope to have the time to get into it a little bit more. That's why I asked about your software that you use for this. But
even without me brightening this up or going to the blue filter, we can see that building up there above that shaft or pipeline with the steam coming out. However, when we do go to the blue, it becomes really more obvious what we're looking at.
Yeah. There's definitely something that was not just geology.
Yeah, well, geology does have vents that blow steam, but that looks like a constructed thing that's blowing steam. It doesn't look like geology. And then, of course, you've got the other bits of machinery right in the middle of the picture. That doesn't look like geology at all. And then another thing is spheres. There's a sphere right on that pipeline on the left side.
Oh, yes.
And there's another sphere right here in the middle of the picture. And possibly...
Okay, yes, I see that.
Possibly that may be a sphere at the top of the picture up there.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering what's that, the second sphere that you pointed out?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like there are two finger-like structures on either side of it that lead down to... Oh, you moved it and I lost my...
There we go.
And just below that sphere, there's another round thing. And I'm wondering if that's... Yes.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, of course, what that is.
I don't know. It looked like an octopus to me.
A separate structure?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It kind of looked like a octopus to me. I mean...
Exactly. It does, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Very strange.
Yeah. So I don't know what that is. In fact, I don't know what any of this is, except I think I can say I know that's not geology. Geology just doesn't do weird stuff like this. It does weird stuff, but I mean, let me just point out things that look constructed here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We got a building at the top. We got stuff back in the dark there that whenever I went to the other picture, we could see. That it also looks constructed back in there. We've got this thing that's blowing steam that looks constructed. We've got a curved pipeline right here. We've got machinery in the middle of the picture. So and we've got these spheres, and then that pipeline itself. And if you look, there's some stuff at the right end of the pipeline. There's stuff on both sides of this pipeline that all look constructed. And then, of course, there are the things standing back there that I said kind of look like flashlight batteries standing up back there. I think they're easier seen in this other picture.
Definitely some mysteries here, and it's just fascinating. I hope that one day we'll find out what it really is.
Oh, I think we will. But I do believe that the picture as presented by the ESA has been obscured on purpose. If we look at the whole picture, zoomed out, and folks, the link is there. You can go right to the ESA website and download it yourself. And when we do that, there's one spot in that picture that doesn't look like it matches any other spot in the picture, and it's that pit. See, the color's different.
It is.
And it looks blurry. And so when you zoom in and just look at that pit, it looks like it's been blurred. It looks like it's been obscured. And again, now, maybe the ESA did not obscure it, but it looks like it to me.
Well, you were able to reveal a few things that aren't obvious, once you put the blue tint in, and, you did the other manipulations to the picture, and, other things emerged. So I think you might be right about that area being obscured. It's not the first time.
No, but, to their credit, they're not as bad about doing that as NASA is. And to NASA's credit, they're not as bad as they used to be.
Well, they don't want to scare the sheep. Well, I'll get off the line, and thank you so much. I'm loving this show. I hope we get some more callers who point out a few things that I didn't notice.
All right, Gwen, thanks for the call. All right. Thank you so much for the call, Gwen from Texas. 623-444-5889. Caller, you're live on the Kevin Smith Show. Your first name and from where are you calling?
Hello, Kevin. This is Jerry. I'm calling from somewhere in the outback of Arizona.
Okay. How are you doing, Jerry?
I'm doing good, buddy. How about yourself?
Outstanding.
That was pretty interesting about that Mars stuff.
Yeah, you know, it ain't the planet they've been telling us, that's for sure.
No, well, I think we all suspected that.
Yeah.
Hey, the reason I'm calling is because we received a phone call this afternoon from our daughter, Jenna. She lives in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay.
She's a manager at a store there, and one of her employees, I think her name is, I don't recall.
Okay.
But anyway, she was asking Jenna, because, you know, she knows that Jenna is, you know, kind of close with us and the things that we do and what we research, just like things you research as well. She's every night for the past few nights, she around 10 o'clock when she's outside, she's seeing something up in the sky. And it's moving from east to west, southwest. It's going across the sky, and there are thousands of points of light that are coming on bright and fading down. It's like a swarm of stardust, she said. They're in a kind of a banner configuration as they're going across the sky. And, well, when she mentioned this to us, I had her take a look at the video that's available on a swarm of UFOs seen down outside of Mexico City. And apparently it's basically the same thing, except the swarm in Mexico City is taking the photos or videos taken during the daytime, and this is being seen at night.
And this is in Lincoln, Nebraska?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And what
it's north of Lincoln that this is going on. It's being seen in the skies north of Lincoln. It's from what she was saying, it seems to be about the altitude of what a Cessna might be flying.
All right, so that would depend on how close to Lincoln it is. But you're not talking about above 5,000 feet generally. So generally you'd be talking about 2,000 to 3,000 feet.
That would be the impression that they have. You know, in the dark, with light in a dark sky, I think it'd be really hard to tell exactly what the altitude would be. But their best guess is that.
Do you know what her impression, what her take is on this? I mean, is she in awe, or is she frightened, or is it just curious?
No, she's just very curious. You know, the first time she saw it, she was real surprised and fascinated by it. The second night that she saw it, I don't know if it was the following night or a couple of nights later. We haven't gotten clarification on that. But it was 2 times in a month, Kathy is telling me. Anyway, she was just fascinated by it. She tried to take pictures. Photos don't turn out. They're not really bright. They are dim. You know, not incredibly bright.
What's your theory on it?
Well, I just don't know. You know, my theory basically revolves around the same kind of sightings seen in Mexico, the string of pearls.
So here's a curious thing about this. I was hesitating because I was trying to remember, and that's hard for an old guy. I had a guest on recently who talked about UFOs that are seen moving from east to west. He says, and I wasn't real clear about how he knows this, but that those are actually fallen angels as they're being kicked out of heaven. What do you know about that?
Oh, I don't know anything about it, but I couldn't address that. Actually, I never even gave that a thought.
Yeah, I was trying to remember who it was that said that. I truly cannot remember. But then I'm curious about it. I'm not in a position to say, oh no, that's nonsense. But my reaction was, I don't know about that. But it could be. I mean, I haven't ever been to heaven, but I have been to Spain.
Mark Lindsay, isn't it right?
Yeah. But it's also true. I've never been to heaven, but I have been to Spain. Yeah.
Well, I've never been to heaven, but I have been to Bulgaria.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. Well, the thing is that it apparently is an ongoing phenomenon that has happened so far twice this month. And I'm thinking that if there are any listeners out there that feel like braving the cold and going out, say, between 9:30 and 11:30 your time, and then you're in your particular time zone, which would be right about now, just watching the skies, see what you can see, because apparently something is going on. We don't know what it is. This is the first that we've heard about it, but if it's out there, if anyone has a good camera, get some shots.
Do you know who Jordan Maxwell is?
Yeah, I know Jordan Maxwell.
Recently there's been some stuff that's been, pretty damaging that's been published about Jordan Maxwell. But I got a call today from one of our listeners alerting me to a video where Jordan Maxwell is talking about and telling about having a UFO sighting at near Area 51. And it totally freaked him out, totally scared him. And I was a little curious about that response from Jordan Maxwell, but nevertheless, he was frightened by it. But it was a group of 7 UFOs. It was a cloudy night, and the clouds broke, and through the break in the clouds came 7 UFOs. And he was pretty frightened by it, according to his testimony. So I was just curious about how this lady was responding to. I guess it's a lady. I was assuming it's a lady.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it
okay.
is. Co-worker that works for Jenna, under Jenna in her job.
Yeah. So would it scare you?
Well, I was immediately afraid, but then I got over it.
You got over it, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Jerry, thank you for the call. Thanks for letting us know about that.
Hey, one other thing, Kevin, before I let you go, you might find this interesting. I was quizzing Kathy about the UFO that she saw outside of Pittsburgh last August.
Yeah.
There was a new piece of information that she gave me that we didn't know about before. The front of this craft, and as you recall, this thing was over 500 feet long, and it was about as high as a water tower. It was just gigantic.
Yeah.
The nose of this looked like, let's say, a ping pong ball. It was hemispheric, like a ping pong ball pushed into a tube. So the front end of it was just perfectly round. Mm-hmm. And in the nose of this, there was a smaller, about half the diameter of the tube. It had a rather bright, luminous light on the front of it. And it also had one on the tail of it that was smaller, but it still had a bright, luminous light as it went overhead. Fascinating stuff.
What do you think that would be?
Well, I don't have a clue. You know, the lights underneath of it were white, she said. Mm-hmm. But the nose cone, or the nose of it and the tail of it, the color temperature of that light was more of an amberish yellow color.
And it was basically a cylinder, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, say again?
This one was basically a cylinder, right?
Well, the fuselage was a cylinder, but it had these dolphin-shaped wings, dolphin fin, let's say, like a dorsal fin, dolphin fin-shaped wings that extruded out from it. She said there were no sharp angles, no visible connecting points. It was like brushed aluminum. But there's no sign of where it would be connected together. I mean, she was directly underneath of this thing. It was at an elevation of probably 200 feet at the most, probably more like 100 feet.
Well, she had a good close look at it, and if she didn't see any rivets and connecting points and things like that, I mean, she was in a position to. I think there was a young man out there also, Josh, I think was his name. Yeah,
Josh White.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we talked to him on the radio. We talked to him on the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I just brought it up because I don't think that information about the light had been discussed before, and I thought it might be interesting.
Yeah.
But I'll get off the line and let others bring their information to the table as well. Just felt that if there's anyone that was out there listening that might be in those areas, watch the skies.
All right. We appreciate it.
All right. Great show tonight, Kevin, as usual.
Well, I appreciate it. All right. Bye-bye. All right, that's Jerry Wills, and he is a friend. He's a friend of the show, and he also happens to be the associate host of the show. So good information about Lincoln, Nebraska. Maybe something happening out there. You better go check if you're in that area. He said to the north of Lincoln, Nebraska. Caller, you're live on the Kevin Smith Show. Your first name and from where are you calling?
Hi, Kevin. This is Lasha from Vancouver.
Hello, Lasha.
You know, Kevin, you and your pictures, you're always coming up with these pictures.
Well, I don't take them. NASA and the ESA and JAXA over in Japan, they take these pictures. But they got to know I'm sitting out here, so, I appreciate it.
Yeah. You know that picture that looks like a riverbed?
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's a riverbed. I think it's a glacier scraping.
Well, if you read the article...
Oh, there's an article.
Yeah, there's articles pretty much all over the Internet today about it. Hang on, we'll talk about this after the break, okay?
Okay, sure, Kevin.
All right, folks, we're going to step away for a break, and we'll be back right after this. right, welcome back to the Kevin Smith Show, and on the telephone with me from Canada, Lasha. So, Lasha, you still with us?
I'm right here.
All right. Yeah, the article that I read that published this picture. Now, this picture we're looking at is not, I didn't take it from the article. I went to the ESA and got it, okay? But they had this picture with the article. And the deal is that apparently there was a glacier at one time. Apparently it melted, and this became a river. So, you know, the Mississippi River, I don't know what people think is on the bottom of it, but it's the largest fault line in the USA. It's the New Madrid, or some people say New Madrid, but it's actually Madrid fault line, and it's full of water.
Yep.
You know, and so if we saw a picture, my point is, if we saw a picture of it without its water, would we think it's a river or would we think it's a fault line? It's both.
Right. Well, in this picture, it looks very much like it's been a glacier, but it's very interesting because it tapers off, which means something melted it very quickly.
Yeah, now
Glaciers usually don't do that. They travel very slowly. And I think that's why you're seeing a mining operation there, is because all that sediment and silt and minerals would come down with the glacier flow.
Well, I have a question for you, okay?
Sure.
You're watching the show because you're talking about the pictures here, so what in the world is this white spiral?
Well, you know, I looked at that. It looks to me like a bank edge of like it's been scraped by the glacier, and there's some sort of salt or something white underneath it there. It's like it hit a vein as it was moving. Maybe that's what caused it to curve.
Yeah, but what about the spirals in it?
That is weird.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's maybe, it could be maybe where water pooled.
I don't know.
I don't know, Kevin, really. It's strange.
I've looked at all kinds of pictures from Mars and other planets, and I really have never seen anything like that.
Well, see, on the very opposite bank, there's those gratings too, like little round. It looks like there would have been spirals there too. You see the like it's like the shadow of it almost.
Yeah, I see that.
But I mean, no, the opposite bank, on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
It's got that shape there too.
I don't know.
I'm wondering if that.
I just never have. In all the pictures I've looked at from Mars, I've just never seen anything like that, or from any other planet.
Strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I mean, the mining or whatever that is, it's a complex over there of some kind that's doing some kind of industry.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Those are silos. So you thought they were batteries? They look like silos.
Yeah,
to me.
they probably are. Storage tanks of some kind. I mean, that is fascinating. But the weirdest thing in this picture to me is that white spiral. I've never, I mean, it's just bizarre. I've never seen anything like it.
It is strange, but it's sort of echoed on the other sides. Something natural, I think, did that.
Could be.
I don't think it's fog.
Well, now, give me a second and let me switch to a picture that I want to ask you a question about.
Okay, you cut out there for a minute.
Yeah, let me switch to a picture that I'm going to ask you a question about.
Okay.
This is the blue picture. I mean, I put the blue filter on it, and I've zoomed in. We can see above the pipeline there is some kind of a structure, and out of the top of that structure there is a stream and cloud of steam coming out of that. What do you think about that?
It's something strange. I'm wondering, because it seems like the whole cloud sticks together really solidly, like would have to be some sort of heavy gas.
Maybe. It really, but then again, we don't know what steam would do in the Martian atmosphere.
True.
So I don't know. However, I'm going back to another picture.
Like silos to me.
Yeah, those do look like some kind of storage tanks. But I'm going to go back to another picture where it's not blue. And what you will notice is there's this stream and cloud of steam coming up. But you will notice that it rises right above the ridge here as well. And let's zoom in, or at least I think it does.
Oh, yeah.
I think it does, but I don't know.
I think we're looking at a mining operation. They've made a quarry out of some sort of glacial runoff bed. It just strikes me as that whole area looks where it's darker. Now you've got it from a distance. It's sort of darker. I think that's a natural occurrence, but it's something they've taken advantage of and built buildings there.
Well, I'm not so sure that's a natural occurrence, because when I zoom in on that, I can see through a red fog, a red haze.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
And I can strip that haze out, and when I do strip it out, then I get to see what's back there. And so since I can see what's there, and since I can strip it out, I think it's been installed.
Yeah, you're probably right, because there's clarity there in the black and white image.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why color should make it more cloudy.
No. Now, here's the thing. For those who don't understand, let's say that is a cloud between the orbiting camera and the ground. There's a cloud between them. Well, I can't strip the cloud out. It's part of the picture. You
shouldn't be able to take it out then.
Yeah, I can't. If it's a cloud, I couldn't strip it out. But if it's been artificially induced on top of the picture, then I can strip it out.
That is so strange, Kevin. And it's interesting too that one side that's like seems to be a bit white on the side of it. If it were a crater with a lip on one side of it's kind of white. It seems to me it kind of reminds me of that area over there that has the spirals.
Now,
I'm wondering if there's some sort of mineral they're going in after.
All right. I've got my pointer on the screen, so tell me.
Been mine too.
I've got the pointer on the screen. Tell me where to stop the pointer.
Other side. Other side, that sort of lip right there.
Okay.
See that when you had the color in it, it had a very whiter quality, almost chalk kind of color to it. And other areas were, see? Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if that's some kind of mineral. It reminds me of those spirals on the other side of the bank there.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's very strange.
It is strange. Now, I wonder why none of this was discussed in any of the articles.
Yeah.
And I wonder why the ESA.
And you know where it's like that flue area that you said?
Uh-huh.
It looks to me like a chunk of the glacier split off there. And if you go further beyond that little flue, it looks like, see, that's where all the liquid would have gone down there.
Uh-huh.
Further beyond the flue. Mm-hmm. Like because glaciers tend to take like tons of rubble and deposit it as it goes, right? That might be what they're mining. I'd look in that area.
The thing that's interesting about this area to me is when I strip the color out, I see rectilinear formations. And I see, for instance, whenever I strip that red haze out, I can see rectilinear formations, like in here, and I can see rectilinear here. I don't know if that has been obscured or if that's just a very eroded structure. but it is a structure.
I think this is a mining operation, Kevin. You know, see the smaller yellow circle that you have there that's up on the top?
Yeah.
On the ground there, that looks like stripping for mining.
It
You know
might
how
be.
you get a mine where they take strips out?
Uh-huh.
And like in a quarry or something like that?
Uh-huh.
I'm wondering if they were, if like for the minerals that the glacier might have deposited.
Maybe. But I'll tell you one thing about all of this. I mean, I say a lot of could be, and I say a lot of maybe, because I'm not there and I haven't seen it with my own eyes, so I don't actually know exactly what we're looking at. But I will tell you this: there are things in this picture that nature does not do.
Exactly.
And so even though I may not know exactly what this thing is, I think I can say that I know it's not all natural. Some of it has been built.
I think so too. And the important thing is to look at it with an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and try and think creatively in the sense of what have you seen that have looked like this, and what does it remind you of, and what impression do you get, and so just keep looking for patterns. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because they're there. I mean, I think that's a glacier scraping. Something scraped that across there. But the fact that it tapers off means it was melting or getting smaller.
Well, it goes for hundreds of miles, and there are tributaries off of it, thousands of them, and in places it's 1,000 feet deep.
Wow.
So it was one hell of a glacier.
I wonder if we're looking at... do you know my theory about Mars has always been that there was an electrical event, like another body passed really close to it, a celestial body, and electricity scraped a huge gash across the planet, and everything kind of went through an electrifying static electricity, huge. And if that would have flash melted or started to melt a huge continent of ice, like, Greenland of ice, you very well could see, scrapings like this, or I don't know, I'm just conjecturing, but something caused some movement there, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, and my point was, whatever it was big, because this goes for hundreds of miles, and at places it's 1,000 feet deep.
Wow.
So it's big. One more thing before you go. I have the black and white picture back up that shows what I call the sluice area, and I've got things circled. Okay, so in the bigger yellow circle, because I've been doing this for so long, I know what some people will say about it. Oh, you're just imagining. Did you happen to catch the show that I did where I showed a satellite photograph from which archaeologists went ape because they said they found a lost pyramid from that satellite photograph? And you couldn't see a pyramid in that photograph. Did you see that show?
I remember that.
Yeah.
They saw a little smudge and they got all excited, yeah.
Yeah. So, this is every bit as clear, more clear than that, and that looks like a building.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. I mean...
All right, we have to take a break, Lasha. Does that wrap it up for you, or do you want to hang on?
No, I'm fine. I'm good. I'll go now.
All right, thanks. All right, folks, we're going to step away for a break, and we shall return right after this. welcome back to the Kevin Smith Show. It's BYOT night. Bring your own topic. So we've had a couple of different topics tonight other than these pictures, but the picture seems to have grabbed everybody's attention. But it is BYOT. We'll talk about any topic in the world of the strange and unexplained. The telephone line is 623-444-5889. We go now to the telephone line. Caller, you're live on the Kevin Smith Show. Your first name and from where are you calling?
Kevin, this is Rusty from Michigan.
Hello, Rusty.
Go back to the picture that had the white wavy lines on it, would you?
Okay, give me just a moment to get back to that. You're talking about the thing I said was so weird?
Yeah, it's strange, but I was noticing something about, I think, when you look at that picture, I think it might be just some kind of light. It hasn't come up on my screen yet, so. But to the right side of that, is that picture up, Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay. On the right side of that, there's that little circle, you know, like a moon, like that little indentation on the right side, that circle. Notice that white is on the right side of that also. And then on the very left of the picture, there's another, circle, and lights on the right side of that also. So it looks like a shading of a light or something because everything's on the right-hand side.
Well, not all of the white in the picture is on the right side.
The real dark white stuff is always on the right side of everything. It hasn't come up on my screen so far behind. I don't know why, but.
Well, the thing is, you won't find any more white in here that's got spirals.
Or not spirals, but see, it's the white is on the right side of that river, road, whatever it is, and then that circle on the right side of the picture, just on the right side of that is white. In other words, the white doesn't ever go on the left side of stuff. It's only on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, what I've got up on your screen right now is one of the alleged craters, and I haven't even talked about it. And I think everybody can see that's not a crater. What you're looking at is a perfectly circular constructed wall and an opening into that wall, into that circle. But the right side of it is white, and as you say, that probably means that we're looking at lighting. However, the spiral is the weird thing.
Well, I mean,
and so there's no spiral in any of the other white.
But that's just all I would notice when you was talking about it. That all the white was on the right side, so it reminded me of something to do with lighting because it all seems to be just on the right hand side. So. Yeah,
well, and that's a good observation.
I don't think that would be water because water would be deposited in the white, kind of like all over, not just on that one side. Now, the other possibility is that white, you mentioned about a mining operation, so maybe that white is some kind of mineral. But,
well, it could be. As a matter of fact, Lasha, the last caller, pointed out that there is a lighter, whiter area in the wall of the area that I said looks like a pit they've dug out. And on the outside wall of that is a white and bluish white area. So it may be a mineral, and this may be all about that mineral, whatever it is. Might be salt.
Yeah. But then again, if it's salt, why is it only on the right-hand side?
Well, I don't know. I'm not there.
It is a possibility that it's a mineral, but if it was, and presumably what put the minerals there would be water of some sort, right?
Well, at some point there would have been water there.
So if that was water deposited in the mineral, like carrying it down stream or whatever, it wouldn't just be on the right side, right?
Well, I'm now looking at the left side, and I'm looking at white.
Well, I didn't see that in your first picture there. Like of the stream, it looked like that was on the right side, but
Well, it is. That one is, but I'm looking at white on the left side now.
Well, now when I'm looking at this picture, I see light. It's on the left side of this picture, but that little hill that comes up. I assume that's what you're looking at. About what? Towards the top on the left side?
No, at the bottom. Bottom left. I'm circling it now with the pointer.
Okay, I refreshed my screen and I couldn't get caught up with you, so I'm sorry I can't speak to that one because it's going to come too late to talk about it for me.
Yeah, so it's not just the white is not always just on the right. A lot of it is, but I'm looking at some things that are white.
See, and like on the first picture on the left side, like where it looks like water carved a path down through there. The left side is like a shadow.
Well, that's true because of the angle of the light. But I'm looking at the left side, and I'm looking below where the shadow would be, and I'm seeing white.
Okay, I don't see that, but...
Man, your computer is crawling.
Something. Well, the strange thing is I don't know why it gets behind like that. I mean, it's cable internet, so...
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either. But anyway, that was my observation. I just noticed most of it was on the right-hand side, even in those little circles,
Mm-hmm. So, well, why don't you go to the ESA website that I put the link up, download the picture, and look in the lower left-hand corner. And in the lower left-hand corner, on the left bank of the river, there's a deposit of white. So just go download the picture, and you'll see it for yourself.
Yeah, okay. But see, I would say whatever took this picture, I don't know as though it could be, if the picture was taken from above, is that how you think it was taken, from right straight above it?
No, it's not right straight above it. It's, of course, it's taken from above, from a satellite, but it's at an angle.
Okay. So it must be over on the left side there, the angle, right?
Actually, no. The camera is up and to the right.
Wow. Then that would be the opposite of what I would think the lighting would be, right?
Well, no. If the sun is up and to the left.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. But that's all I had. I'll let somebody else call in, but I just noticed that.
All right.
Light was on the right side, but...
Okay. Good observation. Right. Thanks. All right. Let's see. What kind of time do we have? Well, that's pretty much going to do it for this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. BYOT night is always fun. We always get a lot of different observations, and, the thing about it, all I can do is bring you the information and show it to you, and then open it for discussion. And that's part of what we do, and especially on BYOT night, is it's absolutely open for everybody to take a look, think about it, say what they think about it, and and so we all just kind of get in on this together. But remember this: when you start seeing some of the pictures that I've shown tonight, you start seeing some of these pictures out there on the internet, you'll see, remember the markings that I've got on these pictures? I did those, okay? So just remember that. A whole lot of what you'll see out there came from here first. And the reason I'm telling you that, well, you need to be here night after night, because right here is where it happens. Right here is where a whole lot of this stuff first breaks. Lots of it right here. All right, that's going to do it for this evening. My friends call me Steel Eye. My enemies do too. Well, you can call me whatever you'd like to call me. Just keep coming back again and again and again. Until next time, so long, everybody.